If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Do some sports radio here on WNST. Good morning.
All right, Brian Malan here on WNST. Let's dive into a little bit of preseason football. We're going to focus on the Redskins game. A couple key matchups I'd like for people to take notice to. The first one would be, I'm really interested to see what Dante Stallworth and Mark Clayton are going to bring right now. They both have had off and on careers. They're both first-round picks. You know, they're both considered cast-offs at this point. And just because Dante Stallworth was brought in as a new receiver, a lot of people think that he is automatically a third receiver. I would agree with this somewhat, but Mark Clayton is making a name for himself again by, we saw the performance that he had against the Panthers the other night, and I don't think that that battle is won by Stallworth. He's really going to have to outwork Clayton, and Clayton can bring the same type of things that Stallworth can bring. He can stretch the field. He has great hands, even though we didn't see it in that one New England game. But this is a battle that's going to come down to the wire, it seems like. The next one I'd like to focus on is an interesting cornerback battle. That would be between Kerry Williams and Travis Fisher. Now, Travis Fisher he's been a cast-off from the Rams. He's had a fairly good career. He's still in his early 30s. He's young, still has some power left. But the one that interests me is Kerry Williams most, because a lot of people didn't really know about this guy coming into Baltimore. He was cut from Tennessee. I think it was a 7th-round pick 2 years ago. And Ozzie brought him in, and he's looked great so far. He's a big body. He's about 6'1", long arms. He can really stay up there with some of the big receivers. And the thing that interests me most about Kerry Williams would be the fact that he did just get suspended for 2 games. And we all know that Ozzie Newsome holds character to a very high standard around here. So for Ozzie Newsome to basically know that this guy was in a situation where he was probably going to get suspended from an altercation or off-field issue, whatever happened, we don't really know. It should tell you how much Ozzie Newsome really thinks that this guy can, possibly be a starter for this team. And as of right now, I know the reports are looking good for Ladarius Webb. I'm not betting on him coming back from an ACL injury that happened, less than 10 months ago. That's an injury that you might want to work on for a year. But Kerry Williams, he might step up in this next game. He stepped up in the first one, and he could be the number 2 guy heading into Week 1. The next one that intrigues me the most would be the Terrence Cody-Kelly Gregg battle. Now, I'm going to flat out say right here on live radio, Terrence Cody will be the best nose tackle in the NFL 5 years from now. The guy is too big, he's too strong, he's a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. Everyone is, giving the guy a hard time because he failed his conditioning test. He's had weight problems. Hey, Albert Haynesworth just failed his conditioning test, 32 times? Joe McKnight, the rookie from USC on the Jets, he failed his conditioning test. Walt Harris, a cornerback that we brought in, he failed his conditioning test. So I don't really hold a lot of credit towards him, failing at the first time for a 370-pound guy. This guy, he just cannot be pushed backwards. It's pretty fun to watch, him dominate 2 people every time, and the coaches think highly of him. I'm sure that Ozzie's known about this guy since he's been in junior college, and for him to go to Alabama, Ozzie definitely had to have followed him very, very, very closely. And we have to find a new guy for Kelly Gregg, because the guy's getting old. He's been injury prone. He is one of the all-time great Ravens, 2nd time in tackles behind Ray Lewis, and that position is just way too important for the Ravens not to have a dominant player at, to keep Ray Lewis, on his feet, and really he's going to improve the pass rush a lot more. So, that's a couple of the matchups I'd like to see. It's going to be interesting to see on Saturday night, and this is Brian Malan from WNST.
Brian Malan! Doing his thing. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WNST Taos in Baltimore. Brian, a pleasure to meet you. And when do you go back down to school, man? When are you hitting College Park again?
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.